This is your weekly podcast for Rocky's Rockin' Cruises and Adventures, bringing to you information about the greatest rock and roll cruises in the world. Hosted by Kathleen, Kane, and Rocky. I'm Kathleen Kane with Riley Productions. I'm the general manager and also head of the podcast division. Today we are bringing you episode 6 of Rocky's Rockin' Cruises and Adventures series, Rockin the Caribbean. So please welcome the founder and executive producer of the best rock and roll cruise on the planet, Rockin the Caribbean. Hey, Rocky.
Hey, Kathleen, thank you. And welcome everybody again to the next episode this week of Rockin the Caribbean on my podcast, Rocky's Rockin' Cruises and Adventures.com. And we got a lot of good stuff lined up for you in today's episode. We have Jay Siegel, the original lead singer of the Tokens, will be joining us today live from New York by way of the internet, the universe. I don't know. She's just going to be here.
And we've been having so much fun because we've been bringing you several guests, and we've got some more surprises coming up. And of course, we're going to have Jay Siegel on today. And we'll be talking about the cruise. The next one coming up is in February 2024 on Adventure of the Seas, February 16th through the 24th. Extra day.
Extra day.
Yes.
8 full days on Royal Caribbean's great ship, Adventure of the Seas. We got a whole week of festivities and activities lined up for you, including some of the greatest acts still today from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. We have Bowser and Johnny Cantardo from Sha Na Na. We have Gary Lewis and the Playboys joining us. We have Vito Picone and the Elegants. We have Peggy March will be joining us singing her big hit record, I Will Follow Him. We also have Dennis Stefano, the original lead singer of that 60s supergroup, the Buckinghams. Brian Hyland will be joining us singing all his big hit records from the 60s. And we also have Lala Brooks. Lala Brooks, the original lead singer of the Crystals, with some of them great records from the 60s, like The Do Run Run.
That's right.
I love that song, The Do Run Run.
Yeah, and she also has some surprises, too, that she pulls out. Lots of fun.
And we also have Rocky and the Rollers all week, too, Kathleen.
Right.
Along with
That's right.
the best female vocalist in the world, Kathleen Kane, will be joining us and singing with us.
I'll be rocking the Caribbean, too.
That's right. And
So-
also our guest this week.
Yes, Jay Siegel from the Tokens, and they tell us that we have him on right now. So let's take it away to Jay Siegel from the Tokens. Hi, Jay. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm here in Rockland County, New York, where it's a gray and dreary day, but I'm sure it's nice back down in Florida.
It's beautiful here. We're so happy to have you on today. And we can see, which is really fun, behind you, your gold records, your family, which I know is the most important part. But one of the, your hit song, The Lion Sleeps Tonight, and the other one, Portrait of My Love, and so many songs we see right behind you on the wall.
Right behind me is my life's work right there.
Yeah.
Work in my vocation and my life's work in my family on my desk. Yeah. So I try to mix them both together, and so far it's been working.
Right, and your beautiful wife, Judy. She is just so awesome.
Oh,
yeah.
That was very nice. Thank you. We're only together about 61 years now. You know?
Hey,
Oh, is that it?
that all?
The only guy in the business that has me beat is Freddie Cannon. I think he's been married 67 years.
Wow.
My friend.
Freddie's a great guy. We're glad to have you on the show today, Jay. And we wanted to talk a little bit about you and your life and music and what everything has meant to you, your whole career since you were a teenager. And we're going to talk about what I think, is the greatest rock and roll cruise on the planet, which is Rockin the Caribbean. And you've been a part of that for so many years now. What's some of the highlights when you're on the cruise with us in Rockin the Caribbean?
The highlights, the whole cruise is a highlight. There are no lowlights. It's all highlights.
I love it.
Here's my take of it. If you're at home and you're turning on the TV and you're hearing all these terrible things and all these things that are going on all over the world, and all the news is bad. And then you come on a Rock in the Caribbean, and you're surrounded by people who are happy, they're smiling, they're loving the music, they're having a great time, and they're not thinking about what they left behind on the TV, on CNN, and all that other stuff at home. We're just enjoying the music. And what a pleasure it is for me and my guys to know that I'm part of the reason that these people are happy. So I can't have a better. There are, I can't name the highlight. The whole thing is a highlight. Whether they're off the stage, not performing, just hanging out with the artists, hanging out with the people on, the guests that are coming. Just being. It's a very intimate, great feeling, and I've said this before, Rocky. I'm blessed, and so are you. What a great job we have. We make people
Absolutely.
happy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You cannot have a better job than making people happy, and we're fortunate and blessed to be able to do that.
That's so true, Jay. You're phenomenal the whole week on the cruise, not only with your show and performing with the guys, but just your presence throughout the whole week on the ship just adds so much to Rockin' the Caribbean that I can't thank you enough. The people can't thank you enough that are on there. You're hospitable. You're funny. You're just you're a gentleman of rock and roll, and you're my friend, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I've known you a long time, and we've done so many shows together over the years. But when we spend that week together, when we go out on the seas and we're on the ship and we go to all these places, it's sort of like you said, you're leaving all the troublesome things in the world behind, and you just get to enjoy yourself and enjoy the music and enjoy the people around you. And again, it's just an honor to have you on with us for so many cruises now.
Well, that's if you want to know the highlight of my year or whatever, the greatest highlight for me is looking forward to Rockin' the Caribbean. I look so forward to that every year, because spending the time with the best band in the world, who really cares as I do. I know that you care as much as I do, that you want to do a great job. It's not just another job that you're going to do and go, okay, what's next? You care about that as much as I do. When I get on stage, and I think you feel the same way, Rocky, it's like I try to think, well, this is the first time I've ever performed for these people. I'm going to try to do the best that I can. I don't want to disappoint anybody, and I don't want to disappoint myself. How we are, and I think, Rocky, you're the same way. We're very self-critical of our performance. We hear things that other people don't hear, and we really sometimes beat ourselves up. Oh, we could have really done a better job. I wish I could have. I would have sang a different note or whatever. But you make us feel so confident, because we know when your guys are back there playing our music, we don't have to think about what the band is going to do or worry about their performance. We just have to think about our performance, because we feel so secure that Rocky and the Rollers are back there, doing a great job. And I turn around and I look at you guys, and you're having just as much fun, as we are. And sometimes I turn to the audience and I say, you know something? We're having a better time than you are. If that's possible, we are.
That's so true. And I have to tell you, working with you all these years, there's, when we go on stage and we go to rehearsal and sound check, and when we do the show, we have to be on our A game, because I know your ear. You have that producer's ear. You've produced so many records over the years.
For sure.
Hit records for so many different artists. And when we're on stage, it's like, you better play in key. I better have that one drum lick right there, because if I don't, he's gonna hear it.
I don't have. Yes, Jerry, the drums better be on key. You better tune those drums.
I do, actually.
Snare drum in the key of F.
In the key of F, right? Exactly.
I don't have to worry about you guys being on key, and the tempos and everything is just perfect. That's why you make us feel so comfortable, and we have a great time, because we know, hey, we're here to make these people smile and bring back some great memories. And,
right.
And the different artists that you have. You have the greatest artists, all original people that made these records, that we're part of rock and roll history. Who thought when I was a kid in high school I met this kid, Neil Sedaka. I was going to start a group called the Tokens that, that I'd be talking to you like 50 years later. No way I would ever think that, that it would sustain this long, but we must have done something right. Both, I mean, I know
That's
Jerry,
right.
Rocky know each other. I don't even want to say because they'll think how old we are.
Well, the next, that's right, and the next cruise is February 16th through the 24th. And, as we said, so much fun on the cruise. So now we're going to have one day more on Adventure of the Seas.
Yes.
Yeah, so even more time to not just perform, but there's so many, other special events that Rocky has put together, like the Q&A. I mean, isn't that fun? You even came to the Rocky and Rollers Q&A.
Q&A, yeah, I'm on this. I'm on the team.
You
Whatever you want
are.
me to do, I'm do. My favorite thing on the cruise, one of my favorite things, is the rockaroke thing.
Oh,
Because
me too. That's one of my
sometimes
favorites too.
it's hysterically funny, and
Yeah.
The array of artists, or they're not artists, they're just the guests on the ship. Sometimes it's the funniest thing in the world, and we have, that's one of the best nights that we have, that rockaroke thing. It's just hysterical. And they call me the kind judge. I don't want to tell everybody, you really get off the stage, you don't belong there. I can't do that. I don't want anybody's feelings. I said, yeah, you really tried hard, but maybe you'll come back next year and you'll improve or something.
Well, you can
But
always find something good.
we have some other judges there that'll kill them. They just kill them.
That's true.
That is one of the most fun nights on the ship. And the winner, and you guys always decide because you kind of judge their talents, and the winner gets to sing live with us on stage on the last night at the Good Night Sweetheart Dance, which is a lot of fun. And people, I always thought they would be a lot more nervous singing in front of the whole crowd live with a band, but they seem to step up to the plate and do a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think they would be very nervous. All of us, hundreds of people watching them with a live band for the first time, doing something that they've never done before. But they seem to really just float by, and they do a great job.
I think a lot of that has to do. Yeah, they do a great job. A lot of that has to do with the atmosphere. It's the last night of the cruise, so the atmosphere is already. We're all friends here. We're all family. So even if there is that flutter that's going on, they know when they get up there, they're performing, with people that they know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like you asked me before when we first started, what's the highlight? Everything.
Yeah.
It's a complete highlight. And the greatest thing is like when we're just sitting having lunch or breakfast or dinner, and the fans will come over and say, listen, I'm sorry to bother you, but hey, I say to them, it's no bother. When people stop bothering me, that's when I'll stay home.
Jay,
that's it. I feel, hey, we're here because of you guys. You're the fans. That's the reason that we're here, and we're here to entertain you and maybe try to be your friend. We make a lot of friends on cruises.
You do,
We've really made a lot of lasting relationships. It's a great, it's just a great. And let me tell you about the guys in Rocky's band. I mean, each one of them. I mean, the horn section, the rhythm section. They do the background vocals. They do, and their attitudes. They just want to have a great time, and they want to please the artists, which they do every time. They never fail to. And it's just, the guys in the band are great. I mean, forget about the musicianship. The musicianship is like A+. But I'm talking about as people. They're the nicest people, nicest band, the nicest group of people. Rocky, you put together a great band, and you know something? You must be doing right because you got the same guys there a long, long time. And it's, it's not when you see your band, oh, who's this guy? It's a new guy, a new drummer, a new bass player. You keep the same guys because they love being part of Rocky and the Rollers.
Thank you, Jay.
And I know
they love it.
One of the first things you said to me when I had the pleasure of meeting you was, you said it's great on stage. We have a lot of fun. Everybody's great, but it's the hang. Do you remember saying that to me? You said the hang. The hang is so important.
The hang is the people who don't know what the hang means.
Right.
But the hang means we're off stage and we're just hanging out with our
Right.
fellow artists. To me, it's like a major high school reunion. That's like a high school reunion. It's
Sure.
these guys that we've known our whole lives growing up in the business, and here we are, 50 years later or whatever. You know how many years later,
Wow.
still looking at each other and say, "Could you believe it? We're still doing it," and the fans having a great time, and
Right.
it's just a great experience. The overall experience is that's that's one of the high points of my year's work, is looking forward to Rockin the Caribbean. It's just it's an intimate kind of setting, and people, we make a lot of new friends.
Well,
We
thank
do.
you, Jay. And I have to say, the group you have now, with Gabe and Kurt, the group sounds as good or better than it ever has. Your vocal harmonies are great, and those guys are a great hang.
Yeah, we just have some good chemistry on stage. Bill Reed, who's been with me many years, passed away about a year ago, and we have nobody can replace somebody who's been there so long, but we have someone that stepped up to the plate and does a great job. And when he's not working with me, he happens to be an orthopedic surgeon. So he's doing okay. That's his hobby, surgery.
Yeah.
But he loves being with us, and Kurt, of course, he's been with me for almost 10 years now. He's been in show business. We have a great time on stage. We just love being together, love working together, and and the compliment. I work very hard trying to be the best we can. The vocal blend, the harmony. It's just part of my life. It has to be right, and so far it's been right.
And you have a whole new demographic because of The Lion Sleeps Tonight being in The Lion King, and you still sound like you did when you first recorded it. It's amazing.
That's funny. I tell this story on stage, and I'll tell it again when I see you guys in February. When the Lion King came out and our song was featured in it, RCA Victor re-released our record. And it became a word, not only in this country, it became a hit all over the world for the second time in a row.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, every 5-year-old kid knows The Lion Sleeps.
That's
And
right.
we do shows now. We do concerts. That the grandparents bring their grandkids. They want to hear the song about the lion. They want to hear the lion song. So we have little kids in the audience that want our autograph. It's very surreal, very surreal. And
Jay, you say in the show sometimes, and you've said this many times, that when you were singing that song at the beach, I think, what beach were you guys always hanging out on there in New York?
Oh, I grew up in Brooklyn, and and this town was called Brighton Beach. And I lived my house was about 2 blocks from the beach, and all the guys from high school used to hang out on the beach, and we used to sing on the beach. I formed a group with this kid Neil Sedaka, and he left me, and he went on his own, and he made $2. He did okay.
He did okay.
He did all right.
He did all right. But you
want to hear who else was in his graduating class?
Who?
And Neil was a year older than I am, so I was a junior in high school, and he was a senior when we formed the Tokens. And his graduating class was this kid that we used to make fun of. Oh, he wants to be an actor. Yeah, he'll be an actor. Right? His name was Harvey Keitel. So Harvey Keitel did pretty well as well.
He sure did.
A few years before that, there was this black kid in Lincoln that people loved, and he used to be in all the high school plays. His name was Lou Gossett.
Wow.
He also went to Lincoln.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Some high school you went to there.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of music and talent in Lincoln High School.
Yeah.
We did.
Well, we can't wait to see you on the cruise, February 16th through the 24th on Adventure of the Seas, Royal Caribbean.
Royal Caribbean.
Another beautiful, beautiful cruise line. And it's always, as we said, it's just an amazing, amazing time.
Well, we're so happy we have an extra night. I'm very happy about
that.
And
yes.
Every ship that we've ever been on, they're just just magnificent. All the shops, the attractions. It's just a fantastic. The whole thing is the greatest experience, and I wish that anybody who's seeing this, you got to come on this cruise. I'm guaranteeing you'll have the best time you'll ever have.
All
You
right.
won't, I'll give you some of your money back, but not all of it. Some.
Okay.
And you know what's fun, Jay, is when you guys are on the cruise, you come to all the shows. You come to all the other act shows. You come to the Rocking the Rollers dances and shows. And you seem to have such a great time just watching the other performers perform on stage. It's almost like, I mean, the camaraderie it's a given. It's there. But you're thoroughly enjoying their shows.
I'm a fan of all the artists that you have on that ship. Are all great artists, and I'm a fan, and I want to watch their show because I enjoy watching their show just as I enjoy watching you guys do your show. Rocky and the Rollers. I mean, you must know about 3 million songs. I don't know, at least 3 million. I don't know how you do it all, but you do. You must rehearse a lot, I guess.
We used to, not so much anymore. But after 45 years of doing this, I just don't. We just know everybody's show, and we hardly. I mean, you know what sound checks consist of. Half of this song, a third of that song, and we're done.
Mm-hmm.
When we do a sound check with Rocky and the Rollers, with you guys, and a rehearsal, the rehearsal lasts about like a minute and a half, and the sound check lasts about another, because you got a great crew. Ben and Chris, all those guys that do the sound and the monitors.
Alex, sure.
We don't even have to say they know what we want, and they are great guys. Again, great guys to work with, beautiful people, and they really know their craft.
They do.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've been talking with Jay Siegel from The Tokens, and we love, once again, the family, the pictures behind you. How awesome for you to be sitting in front of that. And we can't wait to see you in February. Thank you so much for talking with us today. All right. Enjoy New York.
February.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Jay.
Bye. Wow, he looks so great, and all those gold records behind him.
All those great acts he produced records for.
Yeah, and especially, I'm a big family person, so seeing all the pictures of, he said he's got hundreds of pictures of family behind there. So, and one of the things that when we were talking to Jay was about some of the other events that happen on the cruise.
There's so much going on all week, Kathleen. 2 to 3 events every day. I'll start with some of the shows in the main showroom. We have the Sensational 60s show with some of the artists that'll be joining us. We also have the Original Hitmakers show, which will be some of the other artists. On that also, we got the Doo-Wop and Rock show, which will be some of the 50s and early 60s acts that are joining us that week. Bowser's Rock and Roll Party with Bowser and the Stingrays, Johnny Contardo. Oh, it's a great fun show.
Yeah.
We also have some other things going on, like Rock-a-Roku. We talked about that a little bit with Jay. We have the Q&A sessions with all the acts. We have the autograph session, the meet and greet sessions.
Right.
We have also... I talk about this a lot throughout the podcast. It's almost like there's shows going on all the time throughout the ship. You could see the artists. They're going to be sitting in the pizza place having a couple slices of pizza every day. In the coffee shop.
It's the best pizza in the world.
It really is. It's very addicting.
On the planet.
It's very addicting. Also, the coffee shop is you can just hang out and some of the fun stuff that happens just hanging out on the ship.
That's right.
With all these great artists.
Right.
So yeah, looking forward to having everybody again next year, and we got a great cruise in store for you guys.
Right.
You better book now.
So speaking of that, here, look up on the screen, and this is how you can go ahead and book.
Yeah, book with our exclusive agents, AAA Travel. You can't call Royal Caribbean and book this. If you call them, they might book you on the ship, but you won't be booked on Rockin the Caribbean. So you must call AAA Travel to book into the group and get all these great events and hang out with all these great artists and just have fun on the seas Rockin the Caribbean.
And thank you so much for joining us here on episode 6. Episode 7, we have another special guest, and you mentioned Bowser from Sha-Na-Na, but we're going to have Johnny Contardo, one of his singers that was on that show, and he's awesome.
That's right, Johnny Contardo. Sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na, ba-doom, sha-na-na-na. Johnny Contardo next week.
All right, that's so much fun. Well, thank you so much, Rocky, for being here, and thank you so much for Rocky, he's the founder and executive producer of Rockin the Caribbean, always coming up with great cruises, great shows, and great ideas. I'm Kathleen Kane with Wiley Productions, and we will catch you next time.